Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to check the video out from a very wet Lake of the Ozarks today. It's been raining all day long. It rained since I got up this morning at 5 o'clock. It's been raining. It's still misting now, but I'm freaking soaked. I got my rain suit is like so old. I'm in the process of looking for a new one, but man, I get soaked every time it rains. But anyway, guys, going to give you the day one practice report from here at Lake of the Ozarks. Today is the first day of practice. I've got today, and then I've got tomorrow, and then maybe a half a day on Wednesday. So I'm going to give you guys how the rundown, how my day went, and sort of my plan for tomorrow. And also, guys, even though it's cloudy and you don't need it for sun, just like to invite you guys to check out Solar Bass got their September sale on my RB2 and RB3 series sunglasses. These are the RB3s right here. You can get them at 20% off during this month. I'll put the link in the description there. And all different type of lens colors, guys, for a wide variety of light intensities you may encounter on the day's fishing. Okay, guys, actually, man, I was pretty pumped today, man. I had a really good day on the water. I was really surprised because the fishing has been pretty tough up here. It's like it hadn't been taking, that great of weights to win tournaments, and I've heard a lot of guys struggling, but man, I thought they were biting pretty good today. And I think probably a lot of it is the fact that it's been raining and cloudy, probably activate the fish a little bit. I think that's probably the reason they bit so good for me anyway. Anytime that you get like the first day of rain and clouds like this, it was perfect today. It's like medium to light rain, pretty heavy overcast, not much wind. That's really good conditions for fall time fishing. It usually activates the fish, and it did today quite a bit. But caught quite a few fish, had quite a few bites, had some decent fish today. So it's, practice. We talked about this before. The only thing practice really does, it gives you confidence, and that confidence really doesn't make any difference because it doesn't matter how you do in practice. It's how it unfolds in the tournament. But anyway, you guys, I'm in the freaking 1989 Ranger here, man, and I've sort of had to just do what I could do. I mean, I've only got a 24-volt trolling motor. The motor's sort of been acting up a little bit beyond with me today. You don't have any electronics on the console whatsoever. None of them work. No GPS. So obviously, I was fishing shallow, and I caught them shallow, and I also caught most of my fish on my Blaukat throwback jig. You guys, little tip here, if you guys have been watching my jig videos, I talk about my favorite fall time jig color. That's the color I caught them on today, pitching and flipping. And I'll put that link in the description too for my jig if you guys are interested in that. But that's how I like to fish up here this time of year. I like to fish jigs and spinner baits and topwater shallow. This is the time of year you can win doing that, although I do think probably 90% of the top 10 is going to come spotlighting in this tournament. But tomorrow, I'm probably going to try to expand on this a little bit. Here's my plan. I'm probably going to fish the same general area tomorrow that I did today and try to find some more key stretches. And then based upon how I do tomorrow, I'll have half a day on Wednesday to sort of maybe refine some stuff. But the whole key in this tournament, for me anyway, it's like if I'm going to win this tournament, I'm not going to do it like on a 3-pound average. I've got to catch some keepers, and I got to catch 2 big ones a day. The way that I'm fishing, it's not sort of like the spotlighters. I'm not getting, the average grade of fish where all those fish are sort of the same size. I'll get a 12-incher, I'll get a 3-pounder, I'll get a 2-pounder, I'll get a 10-incher, and then I'll get a 5-pounder. So it's like, you've got to catch those unexpected big ones out of nowhere in order to have a chance to compete, when you're fishing shallow. And that's the way I like to fish. I mean, that's the way I've always done good before, but there's no secret. I mean, just, I'm just fishing shallow wood and rock with a jig, just covering water with it, fishing nice and slow, nice and thorough. I think that, I did get pretty dialed into the color today because I am a real stickler for jig color. When you're talking about, matching the water clarity to the sky conditions, I've got a lot of different trailers. I got a lot of different dyes with them. So I can really mix and match my trailer color in correlation with my jig color based upon the light intensity. Because like today, the color that I caught them on in the low light conditions. If we have sun tomorrow, I may have to adjust and put on a different color. I may have to have a different color jig, different color trailer, you know. So that's something you sort of always have to keep up with them. And the areas that I'm fishing also, there's some water visibility changes. I've noticed a fluctuation of about 7 or 8 inches, different water visibilities depending upon where I'm at. So I'm just real comfortable, man, with it. This is the way I like to fish. I'm real familiar with Lake of the Ozarks. I've been fishing up here my whole life. I know the area that I'm fishing very well. And I like what I saw today. I mean, that's the thing about it. I've fished this lake enough to know when you have potential to do well. But that's just the way it was in the past. That doesn't mean anything for this tournament. I could win the tournament or finish last from what I've seen, you know, today. It just depends on the bites you get and getting them in. I will say one thing about that jig, guys, my new Blaukat throwback jig. I've been fishing that thing now. We've been working on prototypes for, you know, probably 6 months or so. I have not lost one bass on that jig, not one single bass. Now I'm sure I will eventually, but the way that we got that jig designed with the short shank hook and that 4-aught mustad in it, it gets them. And I have not lost one single fish. And also, I want to say one more thing about the jig before I get on this. These jigs, the jigs we could have, Cumberland Pro Lures makes them. These are powder coated, baked on head jigs. The paint on them, you can't chip them, guys. It's like you can knock them up against concrete. I've been fishing with one jig, you know, this one of my favorite jigs for like 7 or 8 trips right now, and it's perfect. It looks brand new almost. And there are some people that have been leaving some comments on Tackle Warehouse reviewing my jig saying, oh, I bought a couple of these jigs and the paint chipped off them the first 10 casts they made. Guys, don't listen to that. Those are just haters. That paint is baked on that head and you can't hardly get it off, even if you try to get it off with a knife. It is like some of the most durable, hard paint I have ever seen in my life. So anyway, haters will be hating, you know, so that's just the way it is. Anyway, guys, I will give you guys the update tomorrow, let you guys know how practice goes tomorrow. Pretty happy with the way today went, and we'll see how it goes tomorrow. So thanks for tuning in. See you guys.